Hey guys, Chelsea from Attention to Details, and we are back with another super satisfying transformation. Today we're working on this 2014 Toyota Camry. My customer contacted me and said it's been several years since he's done a really good contact wash. He's an older customer and just hasn't been able to keep up with his vehicle. And unfortunately, due to the lack of contact wash, we have a large buildup of dirt that has turned into algae and mold and mildew. And if you don't do anything to remove this, it will actually start to etch and pit into your clear coat and do permanent damage. I think we should be able to reverse some of the damage. I don't believe it's too far gone, just because if I can touch the paint and remove it, I think we should be able to remove it. But we're going to have to do a heavy contact wash, decon, and then we're going to do a paint enhancement at the end just to thoroughly clean, bring back gloss and shine, help this vehicle look as good as new. We'll also polish our headlights, do an engine bay cleaning, but on the inside, it's just about as bad as the exterior. Our mats, our cloth have a heavy buildup of embedded dirt. Our leather needs a good cleaning. We have suede inserts, so we've got to be careful, because if we have a large amount of dirt on that suede, it's going to potentially have some wicking issues that we need to address. But head to toe on this vehicle, we need to clean every surface for the customer. I'll share with you guys the chemicals and tools that I would use as a professional detailer to quickly undo years worth of neglect. But I'm really excited because I have a home-based business. I'm a stay-at-home mom and I have 2 kids that are off from school for the summer. So I'm going to bring them in on this detail. They've been wanting to earn some extra cash this summer. They want to learn detailing. So I'm going to bring them in on this detail, and I'm really excited to have them join me because it just makes it more fun when you have people working with you. So let's go ahead and get to work. It's been a little bit of a busy week for me personally behind the scenes. We're working in the middle of a kitchen renovation. We're just really in the thick of it. We've got some other stuff going on as a family that if I look tired, it's because I am tired. But we're ending the week with a bang. We've got a big detail ahead of us on a very small car. What we're going to do on the exterior is a really good high pH foaming pre-soak. Try to get off as much of this algae and scum as possible. This is going to be another long day for me, but I want to try to get this exterior done as quickly as possible so I can focus on the interior, get that dry. The customer's gonna be picking it up at around 4:30 and it's about 9:15 now. So I got a lot of work to do in a short amount of time. So we have 7 hours to complete this entire detail, and that might not seem like a lot of time because honestly, it's not. We might be cutting it close on this one to get it all done in time, but it's gonna come down to having the right tools and chemicals in place to give us the best results as quickly as possible. So for our wash and decontamination step, we have 2 of my favorites from Work Stuff, and we're also going to utilize a high pH soap from Built Hammer. This is their auto foam, and if we need to have a little bit more cleaning, scrubbing capabilities, we have the ultra soft detailing brush from the Rag Company. This is the only brush that I would ever consider using on paint. I'm not sure if we'll need it. We'll see how much of that dirt we can remove with our chemical when we do our foaming pre-soak, but first, we're going to come in, blow out all of the large debris from our engine before we put any sort of water into it. Then we will do our tires and wheels with Oberk Tire and Wheel Cleaner. And then we're going to come in and do our door jambs with Superior Products Dark Fury. Now, sometimes detailers will lose a lot of precious time on details by spending too much time on areas like this. I used to waste 15 to 20 minutes on door jambs, getting a detail brush, agitating, trying to keep as much water out of the interior as possible. But a little bit of water is not going to damage the interior. We're going to actually just use high pressure water with our pressure washer and blast all of that dirt out. You might get a little bit wet in the process. It's okay. It's not going to kill you. It's just water. But you can see, without agitating, by chemical alone and high pressure, we're able to blast all that dirt out. So that way we can prevent rust for the customer on their door panels. So you might be wondering, do I do door jambs with every single detail? The answer is yes. If it's an interior only and I don't want to break out my hose or get the exterior wet, I'll use something like a rinseless wash or a waterless wash that gives me really good cleaning capabilities but better lubrication than just water alone. But a majority of the vehicles that I see, the door jambs all look like this, and this is just a very quick way. It takes about 5 minutes total, but my process is I will always start off with tires and wheels first, then door jambs. If we have to do an engine bay cleaning, I'll insert that after this step. and then we'll do our foaming pre-soak. Now, I'm actually going to contactless wash our engine. I just did a high pressure rinse, foamed it with our Built Hamber Auto Foam, rinsed everything off, and then we're going to come in and try to just take our time with our rinse step. This was my first time using Auto Foam. I was actually gifted it by a customer after a detail, and I was really impressed with how much cleaning power this soap had. So as we're doing this, we are pressure washing all of these drains along the roof because they get very clogged, and then you could end up with headliner stains if it ends up leaking onto the interior, or it could go down into your carpet. So you can see all that dirt is just coming right down these drains now that we've cleaned everything out, and just kind of spilling out this back area right here, which is what I want to see. They're open and they're flowing. This is the part of the wash process that will take the longest amount of time, but if we take our time, this will yield us the best results and the safest results. So that way when we do our contact wash, it's going to be a lot safer. But we want to pay attention to all of our seals, our lights. We already pressure washed all around this back area here. Our trim pieces got all of that scum off. I definitely recommend investing in a pressure washer when you have this level of dirt on a vehicle. I'm using a Ryobi 1900, and you can see I can come in very close on this paint. I'm not inducing damage, but it's helping to just blast all of that dirt that's pitted into the paint. Most of it is coming off with the pressure washer, but we still have a lot of grit to the surface. And so rather than me trying to really focus on being gentle with this paint, I got to get this stuff off quickly. So we're going to actually use our green brush. This is safe for painted surfaces. We're going to do a continued final rinse just to get all of this big stuff off. So once we're done with this rinse, we'll foam it back up again with our Built Hamber soap. We'll use our brush to wash, rinse that off, and then we will foam it again and do our clay towel treatment. So we might not even actually need our wash pad. At this point, I think the brush and the clay towel should be sufficient to get all of this dirt off. Then we'll rinse it, dry it, pull it inside, and do our paint enhancement. These are the kind of details that I love doing. They're super satisfying to see the transformation just in the rinse step alone, but it's like therapy for my soul being able to wash a car out in the rain. Now that we've removed the large dirt off the vehicle, it's safe for us to come in, do a foaming pre-soak, and do our contact wash with our detailing brush. And you might be cringing thinking, oh my gosh, she's scratching the crap out of that paint. It's actually really safe on paint when you have the proper soap with good lubrication. Then we'll rinse all of that off, foam it up again, and do our clay towel treatment. Now the clay towel might actually induce some light marring on the paint. We have to scrub pretty aggressively to remove any bonded contaminants. But I'm not worried about any marring that might be induced because we're going to be able to remove that with just a very quick paint enhancement. I'm not going to be chasing paint perfection with this polish step. I really just want to clean it and just bring back some gloss that might have been lost over time from a buildup of oxidation on the paint. Dry everything off, and I'm actually going to set up 2 vacuums, one on either side for my kids because they want to help out, and this is a great way for my kids to help decrease some of the time off of this detail, make some money, and be able to help me out.
Hey, Mom.
What'd you find?
I found a nickel.
And?
Quarter. Another nickel.
What happens when we vacuum up coins?
They go in the vacuum thing.
Yeah? They go here. Right here.
Yeah.
And that money goes towards...
College.
No, I was gonna think ice cream, but...
Oh, ice cream. Oh, yay, ice cream. Yummy.
What'd you
That's
find?
even better.
There's like a whole thing of pills.
Just suck them up. There's no way he's gonna be able to use them. It's
There's
fine.
like 10 pills.
Just suck them up. I don't need you touching them.
Oh, yeah, and I already found one pill.
It's like he filled the whole bottle. It's like all under the seat.
Yeah, there was a lot under the seat. So here's our
Hey, 6
before,
look at the pills.
and here's our after. It's cleaning. It's finishing down decently. You're not gonna see a lot of swirls and scratches on this color finish. Even our headlights, just a quick enhancement. We have more clarity. Here's our before, and here's our after So that will be safer driving for the customer at night. Our paint is nice and smooth. We'll put a durable sealant on there. It's okay, kids. It's not like I was talking. It's fine. It's fine. They're working well. This is them working together. I'm gonna go crazy. And I'm gonna go broke. How's it looking?
But so far.
Good job, guys. Good job. Good job. Man, I could get used to this. It is amazing having ADHD and just having someone with you. They call it body doubling. Man, does it just help keep me focused. While my kids vacuum, I'm going to do a paint enhancement. It took me about an hour total. We're using DIY Detail Gold Standard along with their gold waffle pad. 2 quick passes, wiping off all the residue with a rinseless wash, and we're bringing back a lot of the gloss and shine on this vehicle. And then at the very end, we're going to be putting on a protectant that's just going to help give our paint a little bit of extra pop. My kids did such a great job vacuuming out the interior. My son used a drill brush to agitate the carpets, and then they vacuumed up all of the dirt that it stirred up. And he actually got to do his favorite thing for interiors. I'll show you that in a second. But we finished doing our paint enhancement, and then I applied lithium ceramic slam to the exterior. Just a very quick wipe it on, let it haze off. 2-towel method to just wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi style, and this paint looks so glossy. So next up, we need to clean our carpets and seats. For our seats, we're going to try Stoner Car Care, their upholstery and carpet cleaner. Because these are suede or kind of similar to Alcantara inserts, and they're very prone to wicking, I'm going to try to clean these seats with foam. This is a dry application basically where we're going to spray our cleaner, agitate with a drill brush, and just mop up with a microfiber. This really helps avoid wicking situations when you have a large amount of heavy soiling. The foam did a great job on our back seats, removing the light staining and just dried quickly. We didn't have any wicking there, but the driver's and passenger seat, because we have a heavier amount of staining on them, the foam kind of struggled. I did find that we had some wicking, but it wasn't giving me enough clean, so we might end up having to extract them later on. But for those that have light stains, this is a great cleaner to just spray, agitate, mop up with a microfiber. 9 times out of 10, something like this is all you're going to really need on an average condition vehicle. For those that want even better deep clean results, if you have a dual action polisher and a microfiber polishing pad, you can actually use a polisher and a polishing pad along with this solution and deep clean your leather and Alcantara or suede insert seats for even better cleaning capabilities. This is a process called bonnet cleaning and is ideal in situations like this where you don't want to introduce a lot of moisture to the material. Sometimes if you have too much water in seats like this, as the water will dry, it will lift deeper dirt to the surface, which is wicking, and we're trying to avoid that in this situation. I have a really proud mama moment. My kids did a really great job on the inside. They worked together. It was kind of a little bit of a miracle. My son was teaching my daughter what I've taught him, and it was just like my heart is so full in this moment. It was so cool to see the two of them do that, and that everything that I've taught him is kind of registering and he's able to pass on to her. And I think they got to enjoy a little bit of why we enjoy detailing. That's satisfying before and after, just the hard work that goes into it, but really just being able to see the results. That's why we do it. That's why we enjoy it. We love being able to transform vehicles, kind of breathe new life into them. The exterior, we were able to really transform with just a thorough wash, decon, paint enhancement. We put lithium ceramic slam on it. When it comes to light colored vehicles, that's always the sealant that I'm going to pick to give that little bit of extra pop. Silvers, grays, whites, I find that that has the glossiest finish. This vehicle looks like I have a coating on it, and it's just a ceramic sealant, but it's very easy to put on, hazes up, wipe off. My customers always rave about that product when I use it. So the exterior looks fantastic. We've got the Alcantara cleaned on the inside quickly with dry foam. Now we need to go ahead, extract our carpets and mats, and we need to deep clean all of our plastics, glass, Tires, we're making progress. It's about 2:15. We have 2 hours and 15 minutes left before the customer comes, and that should be easy to accomplish thanks to my kids helping out. So Charlie, Mackenzie, thank you for your help. I really appreciate it. And for those of you mamas who have kids at home, this is stuff that they can do. Let them have a vacuum. Let them learn to help. Even work on your own cars. They're the ones making the messes. Have them clean it up, right? But we've got a little bit more work to do, so let's keep working. Alexa, set a timer for an hour and a half.
1 hour and 30 minutes, starting now.
Alexa, play the Jonas Brothers' new album.
Playing the album by Jonas Brothers from Apple Music.
I'll probably lose monetization on this video, but it's worth it. This is my son's favorite thing to do on interiors, and that's pound the dirt out of the mats using a raised deck towel and a mallet. It's a great way to just pound out all the deeper dirt in our mats. It's not going to get it all, but it's going to make your extraction step more efficient. Light colored interiors are a detailer's worst nightmare, especially when you've got heavy soiling like this. Forgo trying to extract mats when they're in this condition and use a pressure washer. That is my best tip when you've got heavy soiling in your carpets or your mats, is use a pressure washer to blast all that dirt out. We're going to do multiple rounds of this. You can see how much dirt we're sucking up with our extractor. I'm not even rinsing at this point. I'm just pulling up the water, what little chemical is left behind, and we're going to repeat this process several times until we've removed as much of the dirt as possible. We might not be able to remove all of it. You just want to try to get to a point where you're not battling wicking on light colored mats. We're using the carpet extraction pre-treatment from McKee's 37. They actually sent this to me to test out. This was my first time working with it, and it actually did a really nice job of lifting the dirt to the surface, had a really refreshing scent, and it wasn't a heavy residue with this product. I wasn't chasing foam, but it did a really nice job of cleaning these carpets and the mats. For those of you that maybe you just want to clean your own vehicles and you don't want to buy products in bulk like I do sometimes, this was that perfect product to be able to clean carpets and upholstery with. We did 3 or 4 rounds of cleaning on this mat alone. The others we didn't have to spend as much time on. The dirt came up much faster. With each pass with our extractor, it's just getting brighter and brighter, but you can see we're still pulling up dirt on those high impact areas. Another tip is to clean your mats from every angle. So that way you're stirring the pile to lift the dirt, because as mats get matted down from impact over time, it will trap dirt under those fibers. And so you want to lift it from every angle, and this will give you the best deep clean results. This is just from our mats alone, and this was after blasting a majority of the dirt out with our pressure washer. So I'm not super happy with how this seat and the driver's seat turned out. So what I ended up doing is just extracting the bases of the seats, not the backs. We're having a lot of wicking. It looks like just a lot of deep stains, body oils, and dirt that just kind of got ground into it. And even though we tried dry foam, we need to kind of pull that dirt out. So we're going to go ahead and continue to use the carpet extractor pre-treatment from McKee's 37. It's working so far so good. I'm liking what I'm seeing. For those that maybe you just have to clean your vehicle once every few months or maybe once a year, you don't necessarily do this professionally and you need something that's going to give you good results, but you're not looking to invest in gallons worth of products. This is a great product to kind of pick up to be able to work on your own vehicles. I don't normally buy products like this because I typically will buy stuff in bulk, but they actually sent this to me in one of my orders recently as a free bonus, which they sometimes will do from time to time. And so I'm liking the smell of it. I like how it works. It doesn't look like it's a high foaming product when you lay it down, but it gives you enough foam to kind of benefit from, again, what I really like to see from products. It kind of lifts the dirt to the surface, but it rinses away quickly. I'm not having to chase a lot of residue. I'm not expecting huge things in this area right here because the dirt is just so compacted in the carpet. But it is leaving behind a really great scent. There was a funky odor on this interior, and now it just smells nice and fresh and clean. I'm using my Aqua Provac extractor with hot water inside to do our carpets and seat bases. Now, because I know I might battle wicking, I need to get these seats as dry as fast as possible. That helps avoid severe situations of wicking. We can also use a product like Spot Stop to remove wicking or browning from the seats if we see that starting to occur. You can see as it's drying, the water is being pulled to the surface and it's carrying any deeper dirt with it. So we're just gonna have to continuously go over the surface with our microfiber to try to remove that wicking as it comes to the surface. So now that our carpets, mats, Alcantara are clean, we're going to do all of our hard surfaces, our plastics, our leather, and our glass. For our plastics, we're going to be using Vonix Sintra. This is a bactericidal cleaner that will really help reset the germ levels on this interior since it hasn't been cleaned in quite some time, especially on high touch areas like your gear shifts or your turn signals. This is just a really great product to use that's safe for plastics and just gives you a little bit more extra peace of mind. We're also using Vonix Higiquaro for our leather. Does a really nice job of safely cleaning leather, especially when it's a little bit more worn, where you don't want to use too strong of a cleaner. It's not going to damage the leather, but it does a really great job of cleaning. You can see our mats turned out fantastic. We removed as much of that embedded dirt. Our leather and our suede cleaned up beautifully. We have nice bright seats, nice bright plastic. We don't have any issues with wicking now that everything is fully dried out. Our door jambs have been degreased. Everything on the interior looks clean and fresh and smells fantastic. And remember our engine bay that we touchless cleaned? Well, after we foamed and rinsed, we turned on the engine to dry the engine, and then we sprayed Koshemi Motorplast. This is an engine bay conserver as well as dressing. It did a fantastic job of cleaning this engine, and I didn't even touch it. As a detailer, sometimes I shudder to think what would have happened to this vehicle if the customer hadn't brought it in to be detailed. It could have potentially cost him thousands worth of damage to have to repair if he hadn't have brought his vehicle in at this point. But fortunately, we were able to reverse years worth of neglect and damage and be able to just help this vehicle look as good as new. When the customer came to pick up his vehicle, he didn't even recognize it. He was blown away by the transformation that we were able to do in 7 short hours. I'm so thankful to my kids for helping me out. And for those of you that want to try out any of these products, I'm going to link them up for you down below in the video description box. Make sure you guys subscribe and stay tuned for future videos that we have coming out, as we'll share more tips and tricks with you guys. But let me know what you think in the comments section down below. This was a super satisfying detail, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. We'll see you in the next detail.